Clapham Woods, located near the small village of Clapham in West Sussex, England, is a place steeped in mystery and folklore. This unassuming patch of ancient woodland has earned a reputation as one of the most mysterious and eerie locations in the UK. Tales of paranormal activity, occult rituals, disappearances, mysterious deaths, and UFOs have made Clapham Woods a magnet for those seeking the supernatural and unexplained. In this video, we will delve into some of these mysteries and see if we can uncover what's going on in Clapham Woods. The link between Clapham Woods and occult practices gained prominence in the 1970s, largely through the work of paranormal investigator Charles Walker. Walker began investigating the area after hearing local stories of strange happenings, including sightings of hooded figures performing rituals in the dead of night. Over time, his research uncovered evidence suggesting that a group was using the woods for ceremonies centered on the worship of Hecate, the ancient Greek goddess of witchcraft, the underworld, and magic. The group, allegedly called the Friends of Hecate, was believed to be a secretive, loosely organized cult practicing a form of black magic that some equated with devil worship. According to Walker, this cult was active not only in Clapham Woods, but also in other parts of Sussex, using secluded natural settings to perform their rites undisturbed. Numerous reports emerged of animal carcasses found in the woods, often mutilated in ways that suggested ritual sacrifice. The bodies were sometimes arranged in patterns with no signs of natural predation or scavenger activity. The victims were typically domestic animals such as dogs or cats, but there were also accounts of wild animals being used. Also, many dogs seem to have vanished without trace while out with their owners in the woods. Strange symbols, including pentagrams, circles, and other occult designs, were found carved into the ground or drawn onto rocks and trees. These symbols appeared to correspond with traditional symbols used in black magic rituals. Makeshift altars, composed of stones, branches, and other natural materials, were reportedly discovered in secluded parts of the forest. These sites often displayed signs of recent use, such as burnt candles, wax drippings, and ashes from fires. Several witnesses claimed to have seen individuals dressed in hooded robes moving through the woods, especially at night. These figures were often described as silent, avoiding contact with anyone who stumbled upon their activities. 4 people disappeared and were subsequently found dead in the general area between 1972 and 1981. Peter Goldsmith, a police constable, went missing in early June 1972. It wasn't until December of that year that his body was found under brambles by a farmer. There was no evidence of foul play, but the case of the death wasn't determined. The coroner believed that Goldsmith had probably committed suicide. 66-year-old Leon Foster was found dead in Clapham Wood in early August 1975, after being missing for about 3 weeks. His body had undergone rapid decomposition and the cause of death couldn't be determined. However, it appeared that he had not eaten or drunk anything for some days. A slight amount of alcohol was present in his body. Harry Neil Snelling, a former rector of Clapham and Patchin, disappeared on the 31st of October, Halloween, in 1978. He apparently had a history of depression and had attempted suicide several years before becoming a vicar of Clapham and Patchin. However, his manner had reportedly been cheery on the day that he disappeared. In August 1981, his skeletal remains were found in the Whiston area by a Canadian hiker. The hiker was due to fly to Africa the next day. Instead of reporting the find in person, he wrote to the police in Worthing, enclosing the dead man's wallet and indicating where the body could be found. An open verdict was recorded regarding Snelling's death. Perhaps the most chilling was the case of Gillian Matthews, a local school teacher who disappeared in 1978. Her body was found 3 years later, buried in a shallow grave within the wood. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community and fueled speculation about dark forces at work in Clapham Wood. Some investigators have said they believe these deaths are connected to the devil-worshipping activity in the area, but there is no evidence for this. But it does add an extra mystery to the area that is hard to ignore. The association between Clapham Woods and UFO sightings began in earnest during the 60s and 70s, a period marked by increased global interest in extraterrestrial life and the UFO phenomenon. Witnesses from the surrounding areas reported bright hovering lights, unexplained noises, and strange craft-like shapes in the skies above the forest. These sightings, combined with the other mysterious events, helped cement Clapham Wood's reputation as a paranormal hotspot. In 1968, a man woke up at 2 a.m. to get a drink of water from the kitchen. As he was standing by the kitchen sink, he glanced out the window and he looked towards the woods. He saw an object hovering over the woods. It was disc-shaped and just hanging there in the air. He stared at the object for a moment, not believing what he was seeing. He then called the police, but by the time the police came, to his frustration, the UFO had vanished. In 1972, a telephone engineer was driving home after a long day at work. At the time, he was driving along a country road by the woods. It was already dark and the roads were empty. As he was driving, he saw something in the corner of his eye, and when he looked, he was shocked to see a large saucer-shaped object hovering above. He stopped his car and stared at the object, not believing what he was seeing. The object started to move in a circle before shooting off at incredible speeds. In the same year, a couple was walking their dog near Furlong, West Sussex. They saw a bright light in the sky, which at first they thought was Venus, until the light started moving. They were trying to figure out what the light could be when suddenly it started moving quickly. The object stopped above Clapham Woods, just motionless now. That was when the couple realized that what they were seeing was not a star or a plane. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out of the object into the woods. The couple stared in amazement, trying to process what they were seeing. Then suddenly, the beam stopped, and the object shot off at amazing speeds. I've always loved Clapham Woods. Growing up just a few miles away, it was the place I'd go to clear my head, especially after a long day. The air is crisp, the trees whisper in the wind, and the paths feel like they're carrying centuries of footsteps. But one day in October 2010, my relationship with those woods changed forever. It started out like any other walk. The sun was low, casting long shadows across the forest floor, and the golden light of autumn filtered through the trees. I had my headphones in, listening to some music, but after a while I took them off. There was something peaceful about the quiet of the woods, or so I thought. About 20 minutes into the walk, I noticed something strange. The usual sounds of the forest birds chirping, leaves rustling, had gone, completely silent. It wasn't gradual, it was like someone had flipped a switch. The stillness was unnerving, but I convinced myself it was just my imagination. Then came the feeling. You know that sensation you get when someone's staring at you, like a weight pressing on your back or your neck. That's how I felt. I stopped in my tracks and glanced over my shoulder. Nothing, just trees and the faint golden glow of the setting sun. I shook it off and kept walking, but the feeling didn't go away. If anything, it got stronger. I was rounding a bend when I saw it. At first, I thought it was just a trick of light, something about the way shadows played between the trees. But as I got closer, I realized it wasn't a shadow. There was a figure standing just off the path, partially obscured by the trees. It was tall, was wearing what looked like a black long-sleeved shirt. The strange part was his face was the same color as his shirt. and his eyes were like a black void. Its head was slightly looking down, but I could sense that the figure was looking at me. Everything around me was silent. I could not even move. I was frozen. Suddenly, the figure vanished in front of my eyes. The figure did not just fade away, it simply just vanished in an instant. I stood there for a moment trying to process what I saw. Was it a ghost? I never believed in ghosts, but I had no explanation for what I just witnessed. I don't remember running, but I must have, because the next thing I knew, I was standing at the edge of the woods, my chest heaving and my hands trembling. I looked back once, half expecting to see the figure watching me from the trees, but there was nothing there. To this day, I don't know what I saw in Clapham Woods. I've heard the stories about ghosts, witches, and even UFOs, but I never thought I'd experience anything myself. People call it imagination, paranoia, or even a dream, but I know what I saw that day. Whatever haunts Clapham Woods is still there, waiting in the shadows for someone else to cross its path. Clapham Woods remains one of Britain's most enduring mysteries, a place where the natural and the supernatural seem to converge. Whether it's the site of genuine paranormal activity, the remnants of ancient rituals, or simply the product of overactive imaginations, the woods continue to captivate and unsettle all who venture into its depths. For those brave enough to explore its shadowy paths, Clapham Woods may offer a chilling reminder of how little we truly understand about the world and the dark secrets it holds.